trying to explain it is actually very difficult. But basically, I feel his energy. He puts me in a state of a trance-like state. That's why people call it trance channeling. But he puts me into this sleepy state, and it's just a wonderful place to be. It's like probably when you've eaten after Christmas dinner and you know you feel so wonderful, you just want to close your eyes, and it's that kind of feeling. And then I'm gone. I really am gone. And then when it's over, I come back. And it takes me a while to get back into my body, I have to admit. But there's no actual feeling. It's just this going to sleep and then waking up, and people say, oh, it was wonderful. I don't even know what I've done. So, you know, that's basically all I can say about it. Yeah, it's a question that's been asked so often. I think it's because I have had years with him. I'm over 20 years of channeling him. In the beginning, I wasn't sure. I didn't know. It was a matter of trust. I was always so frightened, and so were a number of other people around me, because, you know, you're letting an entity or an energy into your body that you don't know. But he never, ever has anything bad to say. He's never rude. He's never nasty. And over the years, I've just learned to trust him and to trust the energy that he is. And it's beautiful. It really is. So I have no fear of that. I know it isn't a wandering spirit. Very much so. In the beginning, when he first came into my being, he wasn't sort of in my body as such. He was a distance away, and, you know, say if that was my body, then he would be there, and he would impress his thoughts onto my, into my energy, into my brain, I suppose. And then, you know, as time passed, and it's over 20 years, as time passed, he moved closer and closer and closer in. When you are taking the energy, and I've got some amazing aura photographs of the energy coming in, when he comes in and the energy comes in, because he is an energy, it's not a person, it's just an amazing feeling. But really, you're taking a lot of energy. It's the equivalent of about 1,000,000 volts of electricity, but you can't feel it. And it doesn't make you go, you know, like this. When it comes in, somebody was expecting me to go like that at one of the sessions that I had, and it's just a very peaceful experience. But the energy itself can actually cause a lot of pain as time passes. Now, you know, I'm now, when we do this video, you know, I'm in my late 60s, and, you know, I have problems with my knees, I have problems with my legs, especially after he has channeled. And my students now, who I've trained, are starting to, and they're only in their 40s and 50s, and they have said, you know, that they are feeling the energy also in their legs. You sit down a lot, and when you're channeling, you don't stand up and walk around. And so the sitting down with the energy coming in, and then it, you know, it gathers in the knees, it gathers in the ankles. It can be quite painful afterwards. But then once it dissipates, it's fine. It's just that sometimes it takes a while to dissipate, and it can be painful. That's difficult to say again because I'm half asleep, or nearly always asleep. I make a joke about the fact that I'm the only one that's paid to sleep on the job. And it's true. There's a beautiful feeling beforehand as he comes close and comes in. And then there's that feeling of sleepiness. And then afterwards, of course, you know, there's a stiffness in the body. And maybe some pain, especially in the knees, afterwards. But it's just a beautiful feeling. I mean, when I've channeled, I'm on a high, really on a high. And then I find it difficult to sleep because I'm on this incredible high. And I get incredibly hungry. You know, people that take drugs say they get the munchies. Well, I just get starving. I mean, absolutely starving after I have been with him and done a session. But now I'm learning to eat the right foods so that I don't get too big, because it's very possible to be very big as a medium. No, it wasn't. It was very hard in the beginning because you're dealing with an energy that you don't know about. You haven't got any idea. And it can be very frightening in the beginning because words are coming out of your mouth and you aren't saying the words, but it's your voice. And it's your experience as you're going through it to be frightened. But as time passed, it became easier and easier and easier. Now he is. Basically, we're connected. We are, as we term, one. And somebody once asked me, are you perfect now because you're one with him? And I have to say no, because I'm on the earth plane, and even though I'm on a high rate of vibration, he is also with me. And so I've had to raise my vibration to reach his level. He can't come down to me. And so it's a very strange experience, really. But I don't think anybody else, there aren't many people on the earth plane that go through the different experiences that mediums go through. And it's a long apprenticeship. It's a very, very long apprenticeship. I thought in the beginning that it was going to be a couple of weeks and I would be enlightened. And I'm still not enlightened, over 20 years later. But, I am one with Maitreya now, and that's a very important thing. I don't have to wait for him to come. Thought. It's interesting. If I ask a question, I get the answer. It's as simple as that. And it's always the right answer. I never get a wrong answer. I never have got a wrong answer. He communicates with me via thought. He gives me pictures, visions. He gives me, most of the time, thoughts. It's very difficult to explain to anybody exactly how it's done, because I truly believe that the way I communicate now with him is how they communicate in the next world, in the world of what I call spirit. Because remember, when you die, you've got no voice, you've got no throat area, you're just pure consciousness, and that's very difficult for anybody to understand. You can still see and you can still communicate, but you communicate via thought, not by hearing things. And so the way I communicate with Maitreya is on a very intense personal level, but it's also very different, and trying to explain is just impossible, really. I think one has to die and go into the next world, and then one will understand. But it's not easy to explain. But it's thoughts, it's feelings. Feelings, that's another thing. He will give me feelings about things and knowings, and it's just a matter really of learning to trust it.